Whatever it takes, I know I can make it through. And if I hold out, I know I can make it through. Be the best, the best that I can be. Whatever it takes, I know I can make it. I know I can make it through.
Okay, so today I went to Pride, Gay Pride, and honestly, I was excited to go, but at the same time, I knew how I was gonna feel when I get there. I knew it, and right now I am crying my eyes out. Mainly, I actually went to Gay Pride to challenge my social anxiety because apparently my social anxiety is a lot worse than I thought. Um, there were thousands of people there, and I was freaking out. I was scared, and I was so terrified of being there that I actually started crying when I was there. I mostly held myself together, but a couple of tears did come out because I'm terrified of people, especially people here. Minnesotans really are so cliquish that it's damn near impossible to make friends here because they have their own friends. And they don't just feel the need to make friends with new people because they have their old friends with them. And literally, that was my main issue. I had that courage to want to talk to somebody at least once, or at least try to. But there was no opening for me. I wanted to wait for an opening. There's none there because they're all with their loved ones. Being an introvert at a gay pride is just the worst. And especially with me, I'm just terrible because for me it's more than just being an introvert. It's being scared of people. That's social anxiety. Now, I do, to look on a positive side first, I am proud that I did go there. Not only did I go there, I stayed there for at least 4.5 hours, if not 5. But I say 4.5. I did stay. So for that, I'm happy. And, a couple of other positive things came out of it, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But, when I got there, actually, when I was here, on my way to go there, I was terrified. Just me thinking about going to a place filled with people makes me nervous. Sometimes my arms and legs start to shake. But I knew how I was going to feel when I got up there. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think it was a bad time, but it was so hard to look at the positive just because I'm pretty much alone. What's pathetic for me is that there are thousands of people there, and I can't even get one person to talk to, and I can't go up to them. So, and the thing about living in Minnesota is that, like I said, they gain their friends through people who are born and raised here and close themselves off to everyone else. To this day, I've been here for 9 years. To this day, I can't make friends. And as an introvert, usually I do fear people, but there's that rare times that I have tried. You can't break out of bonds people already have, which is strange because when I used to live in Virginia, my manager at Kroger, where I used to work, he befriended me eventually as time went on, and we hung out, and I even hung out with his friends. I didn't always say too much to them. I was more because I prefer connections with people, and I felt more connected with him, and that I could get along with well, and I could talk to him well, never have to worry about having not things to say. But I did. Their friends didn't mind I was there, and I did say something to them here and there. But here, do not. If you're an introvert, do not come here. It is not an introverted friendly place because it is impossible to join like an established social group that was already made by people. That I was seeing hundreds, well, thousands of people in groups. I saw like maybe one or two people, and even then they were just waiting for other people. So I'm like, how am I supposed to talk to people when they are seeing only themselves? So I cried, and I cried even worse when I got home, because actually I felt so miserable. I wanted to cut my wrist right there. And I have a history of cutting, and I haven't done that in many, many years. But to feel so lonely for a group of people that's supposed to be so open, I was like, that's it. I accepted myself that I'm gay, and I know that won't change. An ex-gay group won't do anything. If, yeah, I had considered that before, although I knew that wouldn't work. Um, I'm accepted myself. That's why I went to this pride. Although mostly it was for social anxiety. I mean, I even got plenty of pride stuff. Okay, now here's the most important thing. This. It's a bracelet that says pride on it. To me, pride for me is not just accepting myself as being gay. It's about accepting everything about myself, including being black. Because I used to hate myself for being black too. It wasn't me. I literally hated every aspect of myself. And so I'm going to start wearing this every single day to help me convince myself there's nothing wrong with me. But at the same time, there has to be. Why are people avoiding me? Why do people flat out refuse to be friends with me? It's not like, okay, fine. Maybe having friends right now might not be the best thing because my head is in the worst depressive state. So maybe I wouldn't be good of use to them now. But I think I would be a very good person to people. Non-judgmental. You can be open-minded and talk to me about anything. You know, I think I would be a good friend under a normal mind. But I was upset. Being an introvert, I knew that I wouldn't be able to say much, but I would have had the courage to at least say something. The only people that would say anything to me is if I was buying something from them, or if I was getting like information pamphlets, which is actually what I should talk about. So, pride was basically a step forward and a step back. Step forward because I had the courage to not run away. The only reason why I left was because I needed something to drink. Heat doesn't bother me, but I still need to hydrate myself, and I felt like I was about to dehydrate. So I had to leave so I can get something to drink. But it's like fate kind of brought me to some help because there was a booth about suicide, either people that have lost someone to suicide or people that are considering suicide. So I got a lot of stuff from them, and I'm going to start looking that up. Probably not tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going back up there to at least see the parade. But I probably won't go back to the festival though. Um, so I got this to help me because I truly do want to help myself. I don't want to hurt myself anymore, but I have every reason to. And going to that pride confirmed it. No one will ever love you. They will never accept you. They will not talk to you. They will not see that you're not a bad guy once you get to know them. So unfortunately, I felt like emotionally going to this pride only made me go back to feeling even more miserable than what I did before there. Because, like I said, everyone has someone to love, and you know what? It was good to see. I was leaving the pride, and I saw two cute guys holding hands, and I didn't get jealous. Don't think that. I mean, it wasn't jealousy, and I was like thinking like, that's awesome that two guys that love each other um, are not scared of being intimate and basically in public by holding hands. But I was like wondering, what am I doing wrong to these people? Like, in fact, I can answer that. Nothing. Why am I? I'm not even looking for romance because I'm way too fucked up for that. Way too fucked up. What I want is friendship. Now, I established myself as a loner. I will probably always be a loner because naturally I don't need as much social interactions. But just because I don't need as much as everyone else doesn't mean I don't need any. I do need some, because me being cut off completely from people is driving me crazy. Crazy enough to want to consider suicide again. But now, to update in terms of my depressive state, um, I'm fighting every urge um, to hurt myself. I have all these urges to want to do terrible things to myself. Actually, I wanted to. I was thinking about sniffing this. Stick the straw up my nose and just sniff it. That thought crossed my mind the other day. And trust me, I am not going to do that. But that's the point. I don't have a desire to hurt myself, but the thoughts are still there. I mean, how long do I have to keep fighting by myself before I have a relapse? Now, thankfully, that hasn't happened. Um, but being an introvert at a gay pride is just the hardest thing to do. Now, once again, while it was a step back, because emotionally I was literally crying at pride, because I felt so alone from a community that's supposed to be so open. And as a matter of fact, when I was watching a concert, because there was a concert there filled with drag queens, and it was actually really cool. They were pretty fierce on that stage. Um, but one of the songs, I left the concert, and then I eventually came back. Um, and when I came back, there was this guy rapping about acceptance and love and equal, whether you're black, gay, straight, bi, whatever. But I'm thinking, I'm glad that they were sending these positive messages, but at the same time, I'm not part of those messages. I'm like, although I did succeed at sitting on in a huge grassy area with hundreds of people there, and trust me, I panicked. I panicked to the point where I was breathing heavily. Um, I panicked, and I felt like I was about to have a panic attack. I didn't, but I did start breathing heavily. Um, Despite the fact I was in a whole crowd, I never felt so alone. I felt like I'm already dead. Like I feel invisible. Hundreds of people there, and I'm completely feeling alone. I'm sorry, I cried. I did. Because I just don't get it. Why do I used to blame my face that was the reason for scaring people off. And I just, Okay, because of my um, depression that lasted so many years, in fact, over a decade, I have been going through, I have pushed people away that tried to open up to me, but again, the people that tried to open up to me weren't from here. They were from other states. In fact, I was in Kentucky at the time. They tried to open themselves up to me, and I refused to listen to them. Because by then, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that I can be liked. I didn't believe that anybody will find me good. In fact, sometimes I think I'm just pure evil if I can drive an entire human race away from me. The only way I can help myself is by continuing to do these vlogs. Because I'm serious. I'm worried about myself right now. I don't want to hurt myself. But how can I do it? I'm alone all the fucking time. I'm alone. No one. And what's odd is that I see people on Facebook, if they have trouble with something, hundreds of people will give them support. But when I do the same thing, like add a status message or something, nothing, like zero. So there must be something wrong with me. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying the gay thing, because like I said, I went there for acceptance and to challenge my social anxiety that has been driving me to hide from the world for many years. But I just, I don't know what to do. And I pretty much practically just forgot what my point was I was trying to make, because apparently memory loss is part of depression, and I have been having a huge problem with this lately, especially lately. I forget things instantly, and like I said, I just forgot what my point was I was trying to make. But Pride was good. You know, it wasn't all bad. Yes, I was lonely, and yes, I wanted to fucking cut my wrist. But I didn't, and I fought the urge to. Um, oh, that was my point. Okay, how am I supposed to fight my suicidal thoughts if I can't get help anywhere? Now, I will look at this stuff. Um, these lifesaver. Oh, well, that was actually the good thing. Can't believe I almost forgot about that. So, here it is. When I was at the Prevent Suicide booth, a woman talked to me about a Out of the Darkness community walk. And coincidentally, look at the date. September 18th, 2016. That is my fucking birthday. I will be 31 on that day. And what better person who should participate in this than me? And on the day of my birth. So I definitely want to volunteer. I want to walk, because suicide is no joke. I'm telling you, I've been struggling with my own suicidal thoughts for several months. And it feels like it's been increasing ever since I started taking meds for antidepressants. Because seriously, ever since I took the meds, I don't feel any different. In fact, I feel worse. So I don't know what to do about that. But I'm hanging in there, but I am not ready to fully reintegrate. This is something I have no choice but to do gradually. Um, but I want to participate in this because I think there's no better person to do it than someone who's been struggling with it for years. And I think I want to go. I want to do this. It'll be a good thing to do. Helps. Um, but despite the fact that I was lonely and pretty much feeling fucked up and seeing gay couples embracing each other and wishing I don't even get hugs. No one hugs me. No one gives me a simple handshake. I get literally nothing. I'm sorry, that's worth losing my life over. I personally think that's worth killing myself over. Will I do it? No. But the thoughts are still there and I want them out. That's what I'm trying to fight right now. Because I'm just worried about myself. But despite all that, I did have a good time. I even I went to the festivals, walked around. Then I went to the concert. After I left, I went to this beer factory, which is really expensive because I I paid $5 for a wristband. I took it off when I was on the train on my way home. But and then I went to get a beer. But then they were like, "Oh no, you need 2 tickets for it." I'm like, "Well, isn't that what the wristband is for?" He's like, "No, that's for you just to get in. You need to pay $7 for 2 tickets for one beer." I did it anyway because I needed a fucking beer. I need it so bad. You just don't know. So I paid for it. Um, and before I run out of time, I did get a couple of shirts. And actually, I think when I go to the parade tomorrow, I'm gonna wear this shirt. It spells out rebel, but it'll say things like queer, gender fluid, gay, uh, racial equality, voting. You know, it's about being equal for every part of yourself. And I have to wear this shirt tomorrow. And what's great is I'm gothic and it's black, so that makes me even more happier. Um, Now I did get another shirt and it's much lighter than I usually do, but for something like this, I had no choice. It's a Be the Voice, hashtag Stop Suicide. I think as someone who has a huge history, I need to wear this shirt. And of course, although I only like to wear black, I definitely can put that aside for this. Because seriously, and I think men have it worse. Because men are told to be silent, showing emotions or weakness, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, me personally, I never had problems with emotions. I'm an emotional person. I was crying today in public. Um, I never had a problem with that. I um, I have problems with when it comes to expression and having trouble with that. That's only because I don't have anybody to share it with. I have no one to talk to. That's my only beef. I don't have an issue with expressing myself because I've always been like that. I never had this masculinity thing. I'm a gender neutral type of guy. Sensitive, maybe too sensitive. But yeah, I definitely have to wear the shirt. I will wear this the next day. Um, but the rebel part, I definitely need to wear tomorrow. And here's the thing. Before I run out of time on this thing, so I did go to this group. It's a men's group. Years ago. The reason why I stopped going is because again, I can't break into a group. You're not seen. I'm an individual. I will never click myself to a large group. I'm an individual. I'm a person um, with individual opinions and thoughts. But going into a group like this, when I went there last time, I could barely get a word out. I remember one day we were sitting in a circle and they would talk, like, they would, of course, go around and let men talk, but but when it came close to me, what they did was the man beside me, on my right, would talk, they would skip me and go to the person to the left of me. I'm like, what is this about? I'm in huge trouble. I'm afraid I may lose my life because while I'm open to wanting to talk, I have no support. No one wants to. I swear, if I could live through this and I find someone who had dark thoughts, I would drop everything to help them. Because I don't wish, or her, I don't wish this on anyone. The suicidal thoughts is just lingering there, telling me that I don't deserve to live anymore, which is technically true. But I'm trying to fight the best. I'm trying to fight it. But being an introvert, basically at gay pride, was the worst thing. Because all you see is what you don't have. And I'm not acting out of greed. I'm not. All I want is to be accepted by a community that's supposed to be about acceptance. That's all I want. One friend. How about one friend? That'll be it for me. I can't even get that. I ain't worried about myself. I may have been accepted myself of being gay, but being an introvert, I don't think I have accepted quite yet. But everything else is fine though. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I know I'm an introvert and I'll always be it. But I just wish it wasn't so hard for me to meet people, and that's what I regret. That for the rest of my life, I'm going to be